Hi, welcome to my very first Days of Our Lives video thought blog. When I used to run my page, I did all these typing wise and just posted a big long text blurb that I had written up. So this is the first time trying to do this speaking to a video blog. So forgive the nerves or jumbles or whatever. Like I said, it's the very first time I'm doing this. So let's get started. Just quickly, I've been watching regularly again since about last fall, I guess. I got sort of hooked again when they were bringing back characters like Jen and Carly, characters I actually was interested in. I lost interest in the show once they started writing off the major characters like John and Marlena, who are now back. Over the summer, the show got a little blah again. Too much of that Taylor and EJ crap, love at first sight, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what they were thinking, but fortunately Taylor's gone. They have new writers. They've brought back all these characters and have now hyped it as the Days 2.0, the whole new season, which started back in September. So let's talk about this new season of Days. The biggest hyped return was probably John and Marlena. Seriously, this story with John embezzling from Basic Black and everyone in Salem turning against him. First of all, I can watch this on CNN if I really want to watch this. I mean, I'm not watching a soap to actually watch, the truth about the economy and the stock market and all this embezzling crap going on. So let's hope this actual story is going somewhere. I really hate this whole thing that it looked like that John was a pawn again, that John didn't know what he was doing, that maybe he really was embezzling. Now it's looking like someone's set him up, framed him. Stefano claims it's not him, so who is it? I'd suspect Brady, since Brady seems to hate his father so much right now. Would Brady really do that to John? I would hope not, but then, we have to ask who's actually doing this to John. EJ? That's a possibility. Otherwise, are they going to bring some mysterious villain back from the past that we've all forgotten about? If so, who? They've killed them off so many times. The other big couple's return is Austin and Carrie. Another sleep fest. Specifically because, they brought Austin and Carrie back, and what did they immediately do? They start breaking them up as usual. Having Austin suspect Carrie's having some secret affair with Rafe over this case, having, Carrie now a lawyer working on John's case, Austin a financial accountant or some boring sounding job, working on the other side of John's case, trying to prosecute him. Now they're at odds, that's stress in their marriage, and now Carrie's working with Rafe, and Austin suspects something's going on. Oh my god. Can they find no other story for Carrie and Austin other than to break them up? Now, Carrie's out of town investigating John, and Sammy's stupidly invited Austin to stay with her and Rafe. Hey, that's a brilliant idea. Two guys I've slept with under the same roof. That's going to go over well. And the previews for next week, of course, have nearly naked Austin tripping in the apartment and falling on top of Sammy on the couch, and it looks like they're about to kiss. Really? Do we have to go down the Sammy Austin route again? No one really wants to see that, Days of Our Lives. Speaking of things that no one really wants to see, what is this Jack, Jen, Daniel storyline they have going on? Jen had moved on from Jack, though. That whole thing, Jack wasn't in contact. Jack was just writing these blogs. No one's seen Jack for a whole year. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out Jack's gotten himself in trouble. That's his MO. When he disappears, he's in trouble. How Jen didn't figure this out, I don't know. But whatever. Jack finally returned as Jen had gotten on with Daniel. And of course now, a love triangle. Days, MO. And Daniel, of course, has decided, hey, let's both of us date Jen and see who Jen wants to choose. Yeah, that's a really good idea, Daniel. But you haven't watched this show that you've actually been on. Jen's going to end up with Jack. It's what the majority of the fans want. They're not going to pull them apart yet again. Well, they probably will for a year, and then finally make Jack and Jen get back together. Again, it seems to be like the same old stuff. I thought this was Days 2.0. We've got, once again, Jack and Jen apart, having to work their way back together with some guy, be it Peter, be it Colin, Frankie. That's, the love interest in the middle of them. We've seen this before. Now we have a new character actually introduced into the show. That's this Madison character, who's come to set up a cosmetics company funded by Victor and Brady, and she's supposed to be the main competition for Kate. I loved Nate Berkus showing up on the show, doing a little guest spot, and how Nate was sort of like insulting and quippy there with Kate. Why he couldn't point out to Kate that, her supposed office fashion space was horrid and outdated, so why couldn't we point out that her blue hair is stupid? She doesn't need blue hair anymore. This isn't the 80s. You're not Pat Benatar. Let's, get rid of that blue streak in the hair. And the blue fingernails, please. Really, you're supposed to be a businesswoman? But Madison's, it seems that Madison's new love interest is going to be Brady, who's helping set Madison's office up, and of course he doesn't want to get his work clothes dirty, so he has to take all his clothes off. Really, I thought this was Days of Our Lives, not Passions. That's what, his character did on Passions every 5 minutes. Took his shirt off because, he had to do work. I haven't made up my mind about Brady and Madison yet. Honestly, I like Brady with Melanie, but there's a lot of people out there who seem to think Brady's way too old for Melanie, and they're better off as friends. I think they have good chemistry together, so I think they should end up together. Then you have Madison and Sammy being old childhood friends. So Madison, of course, hires Sammy. How does all of Salem end up getting these amazing jobs as, CEOs or assistant CEOs in these great companies when none of them ever went to college? But, Madison, after 2 days of working with Sammy, has decided she should be in charge of basically her entire company. I don't know if that's a good idea, but, I'm sure something will go wrong. Sammy will blow some huge deal, but of course it'll really be Kate sabotaging Sammy in some way, shape, or form. Kate will never seem to go down on this show. It would be great if Kate got locked in a secret room for a while. Kate got shipped off to an island again. Clearly she didn't learn too much the first time she was stuck on that fish trolley. Maybe she needs to go back. But we'll see how that goes. One of the actual interesting storylines is this whole Maggie has a secret child from the past. Okay, it's kind of ridiculous. First of all, I can't see Alice Horton on the internet, period. Alice emailing her lawyer back and forth the day before she actually died. Right. I'm sure Alice also had an iPhone and Facebook. We just didn't see her using it. But, Maggie apparently had this cutting-edge procedure a long time ago, now known as in vitro. But the clinic that she apparently sold her eggs to, or donated her eggs to try and fertilize them, was some kind of a front. It was a fake. It was a fraud. And they took her eggs and Mickey's sperm and apparently just gave it away to some other person to make a baby with. That's kind of odd. Did Mickey and Maggie never seem to think maybe we should follow up on this place that we just gave our genetic DNA to? I mean, Mickey was a lawyer, but we all know Mickey was a terrible lawyer. Everyone he represented went to jail. But, who's going to be Mickey or Maggie and Mickey's baby? Some people don't even think it's going to be Mickey and Maggie's baby. Some people think it's going to magically turn out to be Maggie and Victor's baby. And Victor had a hand in all of this way back when he was evil. That would be convenient because they're getting married. Oh, we share a child together. At the same time, I think, that would screw everything up. Maggie would be pissed at Victor and dump him. I could definitely see what a lot of people are thinking, that Daniel has somehow ended up being Maggie and Mickey's long-lost child, and the egg was given to Daniel's parents. and maybe the wife or Daniel's parents couldn't have their own kids, so they illegally got Maggie and Mickey's sperm and egg, and voila, Daniel comes along, which of course conveniently makes Daniel and Melanie Hortons, so Melanie gets her long lost wish that Maggie is actually really her grandma. The happily ever after. But then, of course, that also, makes a nice little way for them to break up Jen and Daniel because, gross, they've been sleeping together. They're basically cousins or something. I'm not sure how that would work. Yeah, cousins, because Maggie and Mickey were Jen's aunt. So who knows how long they'll drag this story out. I'm sure come November sweeps, we'll find out who Maggie's and Mickey's long lost kid is. The EJ running for mayor storyline, oh lord. I actually do really like EJ and Nicole together. I think they work well. I don't know why the show had to bring Taylor in and break them up. What a stupid mistake. But, EJ running for the mayor of Salem, that's really laughable. Like anyone would actually vote for EJ, but of course we're dealing with Salem. So they probably will vote for EJ. Everyone has turned against John Black, and because Abe is John Black's friend, they're now turning against Abe. They're stoning John Black, they're throwing bricks through his window, they're beating him up in jail, they're issuing him death threats. Really? John gets this treatment. Meanwhile, EJ's running for mayor and is embraced by all of Salem. Hello, that's kind of ironic, but I'm sure EJ will win mayor of Salem just because this is Salem. Hopefully we will not have to listen to him talk about the issues too much longer, because how he says issues is like nails on a chalkboard for me. If Abe isn't mayor, what the hell is he going to do? Go back to the police force? I don't know. I guess he's kind of reaching retirement age. He can probably retire. Maybe he'll go to law school and become a lawyer too. The final story I guess I'll talk about here before ending is the whole Will and Sonny and isn't he or isn't he storyline, which has seemed to have been completely dropped these last few weeks. From what I read or heard, the new writers wanted to put this on the back burner for a little while so they could rewrite the storyline and make it more touching and more realistic than the older writers had, but it's at least one of the more interesting storylines they have going for them. So, hey, let's pop this back into gear here. And originally a lot of people over the summer thought Will was gay at first, but then, T came around and T was so homophobic and so in denial that it looked like maybe T was actually the one who was gay. But then T's disappeared, and now we're back to Will, ignoring Gabby, not wanting to sleep with Gabby. So, now we're back to the is he or isn't he storyline. I did find it was hilarious, if anyone caught it, that at the whole Horton Square unveiling, there was a little scene in which Sonny was talking to Melanie, I think, and Abby about how hard it is to be gay, and how as many people accept him, there are people who don't accept him, and then there are all those people out there who, hey, what's my camera doing? I'm over here. Is Will Horton behind me? No, he's not. Yeah, as Sonny was sitting there talking about how some people just can't accept who they are, and that's what they are, and they live in denial. The camera immediately panned over to Will and Gabby sitting at their table just sort of talking to one another. That for me was just like the hello, yeah, they're going to have Will come out eventually. So when that'll actually happen, who knows? But I guess that's about all I have to say for now. Hopefully I'll be able to do another one of these again soon. Maybe next time I'll do it with a martini a la Nicole style. Then I probably really will ramble on and on. But I guess that's it. See you next time. You can find me on Facebook and friend me, and I post little funny thoughts then and now on Facebook as well. Bye!